Humans are weird. Would you like to hear a story about it? Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to this episode of 22 Days of October Oddity. As you may or may not know, our adorable little spider alien friend quilx'tch has a campaign going on over on Indiegogo to get his research into human weirdness published. That is, he is ready to present over 60,000 words of the finest weirdness humanity has to offer. The link is below the video, so click on over and take a look. Buy a book. Now, on with the story. Humans Are Weird, High Five, an audio narration by Betty Adams. Are you sure, very certain, that you do not mind me lingering here? Twistender asked of his human companion. Nah, Corporal Bryant said absently. You just hang in there until we get these last sensors in. Agreed, Twistender replied. He shifted a few of his gripping appendages on the warm skin of the human's back and carefully shifted the protection of the shirts that protected them both so that it lay easier over them. The scientist was acutely aware of the fact that his seeking shelter here left a large swath of the human's soft abdomen with only the thin protection of the t-shirt and a thin band of waist with not even that. Twistender rubbed his main gripping appendages together in guilt as he felt this solidified precipitation. What mad scientist could have postulated such a thing? Continued to strike the shirt above him. It stung a bit, even through the protection of the human's clothing, and Twistender shuddered at the memory of those horrible moments of pain before his companion had rushed to his side and sheltered him with his own body. "You okay, Twist?" Bryant asked. "I am." Twistender hesitated, deciding against correcting the shortening of his name. Still relatively uninjured. The human gave a bark of laughter as they reached the next set of coordinates, and he plunged the spike that held the sensor into the soil. Twistender felt a thrill of something that wasn't quite fear as he felt the bipedal muscle structure surge under his appendages. What raw power the human was capable of, what phenomenal forces their bodies were capable of absorbing. Perhaps he shouldn't feel quite so guilty about leaving the human with that bit of unprotected flesh. It was clear that even the tall, energy-expensive bipedal form functioned to protect Bryant from the precipitation, as the small sphere struck his helmet and shoulders, then bounced away from the unprotected area. "Two more left," Bryant said, and Twistender could have sworn that there was joy and anticipation in the human voice. "You are excited we are near the end of our task and the safety of our base?" Twistender asked. There was a pause, presumably because the human was accelerating his velocity. What did they call that type of movement? Running? "Yeah, I guess," Bryant finally confirmed. They fell back into silence, and Twistender focused on attempting to read the confusing mix of chemical signals the human was sending out. This was a rare opportunity to study the humans up close, and Twistender planned to make use of it despite his still lingering terror. Off to the east, the sky flashed with a light that reached his photoreceptors even under the protection of the shirts, and shortly after that a horrific rolling roar passed over them. Twistender fought down an undignified squeak of fear. Shortly thereafter, Bryant plunged the next to last probe into the ground and laughed. Twistender was suddenly struck by the idea that Bryant himself was a part of the storm. The power, the careless violence, the rolling noise, all was reflected in the sky and the surging body beneath the undulate's appendages. "One more!" Bryant called out, "and this last stretch is the shortest one." Bryant accelerated and thrust the last spike into the ground. Freed of that last weight that had been pulling at his arms, the human altered his direction, and they began to fly over the ground. Twistender became aware of some rising sound, something like a rivulet of water falling onto the shoal from a preeminence, but louder and terrifying. Twistender twitched as he realized that somewhere behind him the sleet had increased and the storm front that carried it was approaching them. Before the undulant could ponder that much, Bryant gathered his muscles under him and simply leapt over the protective barriers that surrounded the base. "Oh, security will not be pleased," Twistender gasped. Bryant laughed and charged the front doors of the base. They opened for him, and they passed through. Bryant decelerated violently and stopped in the center of the entryway. "Woo!" Bryant let out a sound that the xenopsychologist would no doubt be analyzing for cycles to come. Bryant began moving around lightly, probably to allow his muscles to cool down without damage from his exertion, and Twistender shoved a significant portion of himself out of the neck of the shirt in order to observe what was going on. The base's other human occupant was approaching them with a first aid kit. "Did you finish the mission?" the other human asked. "Oh yeah!" Bryant crowed. "High five, mate!" Twistender held on in shock as the humans raised opposing arms and swung them together with the same force that Bryant had driven the probes into the ground. The hands connected with a jar of force that traveled throughout Bryant's body. "You ready to get down, Twist?" Bryant asked. "Quite ready." Twistender said meekly. The ungulate climbed down the human's legs and slipped away to his quarters. He mulled over the idea of formally comparing the human's behavior to a sort of benevolent atmospheric storm. A mad, benevolent atmospheric storm. And that is our dose of daily weirdness for today. If you found that you like what you heard, wander on over to Indiegogo and purchase a copy of Humans Are Weird. I have the data. The link is below. If you don't want to purchase the book or find you can't at the moment, share this around if you think it's worth sharing. Hit up Facebook, Tumblr, whoever. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next chapter.